the last thing I want is someone to end their life over vision loss.
Oh,
It's
absolutely.
not the end of your life.
Yes.
When it's vision loss based, I get it, but I will do anything I can to. I've talked to people.
Right.
I've been on the phone with people. They reach out to me. You know. Yeah.
And I've noticed that when people are maybe a little older and they start experiencing vision loss, it's so much harder to adjust.
Yes.
And have known someone who was terrified to ride in the car because she could no longer see
Yep.
where the car was going, and she was like a cat on a,
Oh.
you know, just hanging
Sure.
on, and the feeling of not being able to see,
Yeah.
and not just let go and trust in the driver was traumatic for her.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I think having a lifetime of experience with vision loss, it has not been easy. And each time
Mhm.
my vision would plateau and then just suddenly drop off.
Mhm.
And I was crashing into furniture that I could walk around the day before.
Wow.
And it was literally like falling off the abyss.
Mhm,
It was very hard emotionally. And then I would have to rebalance and readjust.
Sure.
And that was somewhat terrifying. And,
Oh, I'm sure. Oof.
you know, that was my process. But
Mhm.
in that experience, it built a lot of strength, you know, just like any avenue that we pursue strength, you know, if it's muscle building, we're tearing down muscle to get stronger.
That's right.
And so through that process,
Mhm.
you know, I developed courage and
Yep.
and strength for the situation. And
You know, it's just a point of information. My brother and I, back right before COVID, it was 2018 or 19, we had a low vision conference that we put on in Cambridge, Massachusetts, with a third person. I don't know if you've ever heard of Sunu Bands. They're yeah. Okay. Well, one of the founders is good friends of ours. Fernando Abertorio. Sure.
Okay.
And yeah, so he was part of it. Me, my brother, and Fernando. We put together this low vision conference, and with Fernando, and we held it up there in Cambridge. It was awesome, and it was so great to help. We had a good crowd. Even there was a massive storm the night before that knocked out power in the Boston area.
Mhm.
But we still had a really great turnout, and it was a great educational opportunity. Fernando, of course, is talk about a ball of energy. He's great, and but it's so important, just the education side, handing out your card and talk. You know?
Mhm.
I just want people to be, again, ask me, just ask me.
Mhm.
You know, I'll help you understand, and I'll be very kind. You know,
Mhm. Exactly.
Get the word across.
Yeah. Well, I've never known a lot about the Lions, and I've always known they are very supportive of vision and vision loss.
That's
But I'd love to learn more about the work you're doing, and you know, some of the things that are around, just to be supportive to others and to the community. So.
Yeah. Yep. The Lions do a lot of great work. You know, we raise a good deal of money, especially considering our size here in town. We hold, you know, pancake breakfasts and road races and all this. And all the money we raise, we give away. We are big supporters of Fidelco, lots of Besby, Chris Radio in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
If a person doesn't know what Chris Radio is, it stands for Connecticut Radio Information System.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a few studios, I think it's like 4 or so in Connecticut that they broadcast from.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a special radio or online, and they broadcast 24 hours a day. And they read the news, they read the obituaries, they read stories, history, and it's a wonderful tool for people that are not just visually impaired, intellectually, impaired, anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a really great service, and I know they need money. So we definitely help support that, and a lot of other causes. We do local things here in town and help people outside of vision loss.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've done things outside of vision loss. I, of course, am fond of doing things in the vision area because that's kind of my area. But
Right.
I like just to be of help. So it's good. And then, of course, the low vision centers do much more, and that is really important work that is really hands-on. I mean, we are helping the low vision community directly,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of challenges there.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as the incoming president, I'm going to have my challenges before me, but it's always usually about resources. We need to keep raising resources so that we can help because we do have a direct impact on people with low vision. It's not, you're sending money off somewhere and you're not sure what happens. It's people of our state, and they get direct help. So it's really, I really like that. I myself, I do a lot of talking around the state. It kind of got slowed down there with COVID, of course, but I love to go around to senior centers. I've spoken at VESB. I've spoken to low vision groups. Before I was even on the board of directors for the low vision centers, I spoke to the board of directors of the low vision centers at their annual meeting. I have a podcast, the Kevin McNally Show, where I talk about a lot of things, but much of it is vision related, trying to help people, sometimes in a funny way, understand vision loss, or I highlight certain things about vision loss or stories or laws sometimes, trying to get rid of myths that people have about some like the white cane. People have some misunderstanding about the white cane and the use of it. So I do a lot there, on my webpage and giving talks, and I really want to eventually end up full-time doing advocacy. I can do policy work. I'm a lawyer, so I have some abilities there with a large organization.